So today is our startup session. Okay, I just give you introduce about our startup session, means first day session. In that, usually in this training, uh, earlier on first day we have covered the few things that related. Those are related to the so what are the things like what is the software company, and all those details. Okay, I just quickly revise those things for the newcomers. Okay, so there are two kind of companies in IT industry. Those are the product-based companies and service-based companies. Okay, so product-based companies like Microsoft, Quick Heal, and service-based companies WhatsApp, Facebook, Gmail. So we are taking the services and from them. Okay, software companies divided into two types. Product-based means those who develop the product and sell their product. So Microsoft is a product because Microsoft developed the product like Microsoft Office, then Visual Studio, okay, and Quick Heal like Quick Heal Security. There are different companies having their different products, software products are there. Okay, in short, if you have manufactured some product and you are selling some product, the companies like there are different companies like Tata Motors. They manufacture the car and sell the car. Means they are the product based. Other side, if you are utilizing the Indian Railway services, so this is the service base. Means you are utilizing the services. You are not going to take that railway. You pay some rupees and you take that railway at your home. It will not possible. Okay, means you just utilize the service and you pay for their service. Same way Microsoft Azure is the service of the Microsoft. Okay, that one is also service based and we pay for the their tenant. Okay, so means Microsoft working in a service based as well as product based also. And due to this cloud platform, now Microsoft Cloud is the service because we are not taking the entire setup, entire environment in our premises. In our premises means in my organization, in my company. We just take the tenant. So these are the two different types of software companies. Okay, so generally, what happened? People get confused. Means people say that this is a service-based company, this is a product-based company. So this is the means these are two kinds of the companies. Okay, so it doesn't have any matter either you are working with a service-based company or product-based company. Your role is just do the work, and okay, means what is your organization. You just need to work whatever the work assigned to you. So it doesn't have any matter either you are working with a product base or service base. Okay, so next thing, different type of software. So what kind of a software? So generally Microsoft SharePoint or any ASP.NET, JSP, those are the web applications. So software are divided in different categories based on their utilization. Means where you are using those software. Consider you're using software like Windows application, desktop application, then a web application and mobile application. In these three categories, softwares are divided. Okay, so Windows application, consider you visited to any means mall or shop. There on their system, you just see that the software those install on the system, which is called as the desktop software. In any store, you see that there are some computer, and that computer their own softwares are there. So those softwares are desktop softwares. Microsoft means in our operating system, Paint, Microsoft Office. These are the Windows application, desktop application. Visual Studio, that one is also desktop application. The application which don't have any interaction, is which is not using or displaying in a browser, which is under the Windows application. Those are called as Windows application, desktop application, system application. After that, web applications. Web applications, the applications you see in the browser, okay, or websites, different kind of a website. Those are come under the web application. Like different browsers. What are the different browsers? There are Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Mozilla, Opera, Yahoo, Safari. There are different number of browsers are there. Okay, so means the browser is a platform to see those web pages. Okay, so Browser is a platform where we see those web pages. So these are the different web application. So in a web application, basically you are accessing different websites like a Facebook website or YouTube website or different kind of websites. Those are visible in a browser or open in the browser. Okay, those are the web application. After that, mobile application. Now there are different apps are there. We install those apps in our mobile. So those are the WhatsApp, Facebook, Amazon. Okay, these are the three categories of the softwares. Okay, means softwares are divided in three different categories. Okay, so basically these are the three kinds. Okay, now we will move ahead. Type of operating system. So type of operating system means you are um, you are accessing any website or anything. You are working at the client side. You are working on the client side, and there is other operating system is the server side. Okay, server side means the operating system means consider in your laptop the operating system. Those are the client side operating system and the servers. Okay, in your website is hosted there and you are accessing that website from those servers. The operating system is the server OS. That operating system is called as server operating system. Generally we call as sometimes we say server is down. Server is down means that server OS installed on that server. Okay, consider any server where our website is hosted. Okay, but the operating system on that server is called as server operating system. Those operating system are different than our client side operating system because those are having some additional features. Okay, so keep in mind that client side operating system means generally the operating system in your laptop, in your desktop, and you are using for your home purpose or at a home use. Okay, or in organization also you are using the systems at your end. But the operating system where different web applications are hosted or different applications are hosted, the operating system of that machine is the server operating system. So the client side operating system in that Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, different kind of operating systems are there. After Linux, Ubuntu are there. Then server side operating system, Windows Server 2000, Windows Server 2003, Windows Server 2008, 2012. Linux also having different server operating system, but generally we are working on Microsoft platform, so I have written only Microsoft server side operating system. Okay, so we go ahead. So while developing a software, while developing a software development life cycle is very important. Okay, so software development life cycle means the phases through which software will get developed. Okay, so the software development means there are some it divided in a different steps or some stages. Okay, through which the application will the end application will get developed. Okay, first stage is the planning. First stage is the planning. So see, 7 phases of a software development life cycle means from the from first stage is from planning stage to final deployment and software goes for the maintenance. In that there are around 7 phases are there. Okay, so in the first stage, what it means the planning. Okay, what it the planning means first stage. Consider the company like Tata Motors and they want one any kind of they are having doing some manual work for their some process. Okay, and they wants to move into the software. So what they do, they just plan. They decide to create the plan. Okay, and they just decide the plan. They define the team. Okay, after that they start working on it. The first stage is what they want to develop, what kind of software they want to develop. So the first stage is requirement. Okay, means they just define the requirement. What are the requirements are there? They gather those requirements. Okay, so they gather all their requirement and draft those requirement. Okay, with the different team. Okay, the team those who are working on those domain They just gather the requirement. Okay, after gathering those requirements, then they put their requirements in front of the IT team. Okay, sorry, IT team means IT software team, those who are going to develop it. Okay, so they just gather all this information. They just gather all this information, and after gathering all in the moment. Okay, so they gather all the requirement, which is called as defined requirements or requirement gathering phase. This phase is called as requirement gathering phase. After that, after that, then there is next phase, design and prototype. Means once they receive the requirement from their client, okay, then they define the then they streamline the requirements, okay, and they start the defining the design, means what kind of design, what how many servers, or whether we need to deploy it on cloud, or what is the plan for that. They just create the prototype for that. Okay, they just create the prototype of a design document. We call it as a design document. Then project manager or team lead, they just sit together with their team and they just decide the design documents. Means in that design document, what is the architecture, then what is the uh, front side design, then what is the middle layer, then how is the database. So this kind of design they define in one document, they draft it in one document. Okay, then after that software development will start. Then software developer team is there, they start working on the requirement. Okay, they start working on the requirement, or the requirement those they receive from the client. It will start working in the software development stage. Okay, then they keep working doing the software development. There's a, then simultaneously there is a testing team is there. Testing software testing team is there. They keep testing the application. They keep this process is a round robin process. Means software developer develop the application, deploy it on testing environment, and then again testing team again test that application and come up with the queries or bugs. Again, those bugs are highlighted to the software development team. Again, software development team work out on those bugs. Again, it will goes to the testing. So this is a round process. So continuously round robin means uh, means a recurring process, we call it as. Okay, after that, once it thinks that testing team gives the green signal that the application is up and means with without any bug, then that application will goes to, after this testing, that application will go for deployment. Then software development team will deploy that application on the production environment. What I call production environment. Production environment means from where the customer or client access their site. Okay, means end user access their site from the production environment. Okay, means once the application deployed on a production environment, we call it as a production environment. Okay, or live environment. There are different kind of word: production environment, live environment. Once the application is hosted or deployed on the production environment, from there end users start accessing the website. Okay, end users start the accessing the website. And if in case there are some bugs, some enhancement highlighted by end user, then it will come in the operation and maintenance phase. It comes in the maintenance phase. Okay, it come in a maintenance phase. Means in case there are some enhancement or some small changes, then maintenance team will be there. Means which team is called as support team. The team, they will support that application. Like what kind of support or what kind of maintenance work, like Amazon website. Consider Amazon website, and now there is a big Diwali sale is there. Diwali festival sale is there. So they need to maintain that site in case any page is down, or in case huge target audience, means many people are accessing the website. In that case, they need to maintain, keep the watch, how many time means per second hits on the website. All those things are managed by the maintenance team. Okay, so these are the 7 phases of software development life cycle, and this is a commonly software every software developer should know about. This the software development life cycle. First stage is the planning, then requirement gathering, then designing, then software development, then testing, deployment, and maintenance. These are the software development life cycle. Okay, so these are the 7 stages of a software development life cycle, and everyone should know about it. Okay, so then what is the client side and server side development? So client side and server side development, in that, so as you can see, client side and server side. Okay, so server side means your website is hosted on server, and you are accessing your website from server to your client machine. Okay, means you are accessing Facebook, so you are accessing it in your client side. Okay, you are accessing it in browser or mobile, you are using it as a client side, but the website is hosted on the web server. You are accessing it from there to your machine, or your local client machine. Okay, so these are these are the this is the server side, and this is the client side. This is called as a server side, where web servers are there, and this is the browser through which we access the website is the client side. Okay, means you send the request to the web server, and it return the response. So the request and response through the hypertext transport protocol. Hypertext transfer protocol. Okay, just a moment. हे तिला शांत कर ना. So now just a minute. Okay, so it's called as hypertext transport protocol, through which the request sent to the server and response come to the client. Request sent to the server and response come to the client. So what is this hypertext transport protocol? Means all the requests, those are routed through the internet. All the request goes through the internet. All the request goes through the internet. So what happened is, on internet request sent and response come. On internet there are different transport layers. If you are a network engineer or computer engineer, network engineering subject is there. In that, transport layers are there. In that, there is a HTTP is one thing. Okay, so HTTP means hypertext transfer protocol request. So each request sent to the server in particular protocol. What is the protocol? Means you are means a driving car on a road, so you follow some protocol. Okay, you follow some protocol. Keep your means drive from left side. Okay, keep your vehicle at a left side and driving in the car. Okay, so you follow some protocol. While taking turn, you give the proper sign. Okay, on the indicator. So these are the protocol to travel on the road. Okay, same way, if you are sending request to the server, there are some protocols, there are some rules. Who define that rule? www, world wide web. They define these rules, how the request sent to the server. So what are the, so these all these things are managed. This internal part is internet part. So no need to worry about this internet related things, means how the request will go to server and how the response come. Okay, internal part we are not going to deep. This is internet. It's an internet. So network engineer know better means having better information on that. So request goes to the server, and response means page come to the page, or whatever the request you have sent to the server, it send the proper response. Okay. So there are, at the server side there are now web services are there. We send the request in the format of REST API. So gradually understand the different things. Okay, so whenever we move in our training, then at that you understand on more details. Okay, how the request sent and how the response. But one important thing, you understand what is the client side and server side development. Okay, so the client side development and server side. Now this is the client and server. Okay, but there are, means what is the client side development and what is the server side development. So I will explain. Okay, so in the client side development, like HTML, CSS. Okay, so client side development, like just copy and paste it in Paint. What is the client side and server side development? Quickly I explain you. Okay, so what is the client side development, server side development? Okay, so this is your client machine and this is your server. Okay, so client side and server side means there are different development languages are there. Okay, client side and server side. So what happened earlier in year 2010 or 12 before, in year 2010 or 12 before 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 2012, uh, there is traditional way of server side development. Means earlier what happened, there's a traditional way, means people used to prefer the server side programming language like ASP, like C sharp, in that ASP.NET. Okay, then MVC is there. Okay, MVC, then JSP, Java, Java, Java. Okay, so there are server side, means server side. These are the server side, means to process this request. To process this request, to process this request means they need to send the request to the server, and request is processed at on the server side, and then response come. Okay, then response come. So there are here, there's the compiler, or we can call it as a in short, there are some Java engine or Java engine. I'm just giving the name like Java engine, then for ASP engine, ASP engine, or we can call that, let's call it as a, IIS server or all this. Okay, but I just give you the, for your understanding. Okay, so here Java engine and ASP engines are there. So request goes to the server and response comes. So earlier what happened in year 2012, so for each and every request, you need to send the request to the server. You need to send the complete page to the server and wait for response. Uh, if you have, if you have exploring the web pages since 2010 or 12, for every request, means even though you click the button, then request goes to server, then response comes. Okay, so for every request, the request goes to, it take a time and increase the network traffic. You're not a single person accessing the page, there are thousands of people those are accessing the same page, and for every button click or every action, your request goes to the server for process. Okay, so it will take a time, means every action means if you click the button, request goes to the server. Okay, and then response come. Okay, then response come, means see, consider anything. I just show you any mm, mm, consider passport. wait, just pan application. Okay, pan application, generally online application. Okay, so now the see, now this is the page. Okay, if I click here, it take the response. Okay, now see, if I click here, see here, see, when I click here, here see, Srimati. If I change here, see me, you are getting, the same. You see the difference. If I click here individual, then see Srimati Kumari. Okay, so why? Because now the browsers are, now earlier what happened, if I do this change like this, then request goes to the server, then response come, and then this information will pop up. But now, but now, now what happened? Now there is no traditional way of development like server side. Okay, now everything which is managed, these things are managed. If I click here, then you see the change here, in change the below form also. If I go here, I say see, there will be a quick change. Okay, means you understand, there is a change reflect here. Okay, so this happen, why this happen, there is no request, this request not goes to the server, it process, it adds here only, the request which is a process at here. Okay, the request which is a process it at a here only, means it's called as a client side, which is called as a client side, which is called as a client side. Say the client side, then who process that request, then client side scripts. Okay, client side scripts means it is comes under the client side development, which is comes under the client side development, means after a year, uh, after 2012 or 13 or 12, client side development having huge uh, having a client side development is preferred. Okay, or development is used. Okay, so means client at after that the client side development having preference, then in that what happened, then JavaScript. Okay, you understand, and now then the JavaScript will be used. Okay, JavaScript will be used at that time, means now also means JavaScript is for use for the client side development, means this is in that. Then what happened, as you know, Angular JS, then React.js. Okay, so then jQuery. So these things are coming to the picture. Okay, so these are things are of the client side development, and server side C Sharp.NET, Java. These are the server side. But nowadays we say that the client side development, it means AngularJS, Knockout.js, React.js, all these JavaScript related things. Those are means the request which is processed at the client machine, which is called as client side development, and the request goes to the server, then it's a server side. If I submit this form, see, I directly say submit, then what happened? It gives me pop-up. There is no refresh here. Request is not going to the server. Request is not going to the server. Until and unless I fill complete form, then request goes to the server. Earlier, what happened? Even though selection of these fields, then request goes to the server, and then I pop up this title field. Okay, so it increased the network traffic. It increased the network traffic. That's why the client side development is having after means 2012, 13. Then there will be there was huge scope of the client side development, means React. Nowadays means client side development also very important, and for server side now we use the web services, and send the request and get the response. We'll come into that picture afterwards. Okay, so as of now we are not in means whenever we move ahead, then you understand the exact meaning. So this is just an overview of the uh, means what is the means this is the first top this is our first topic, and this is just overview of the what is the software development, what is the browser, what is the operating system, then what is the client side, server side, and important is software development life cycle. So these things